Okay, this is just basically a recording of the 5 moves that underpin pretty much all of our set piece attacks. DSP, dummy switch pass, PB or blocking line, slice, M1 loop, and switch. Yeah, it's really important to understand the scenarios in which we would use each of those moves, what weaknesses in the defense we're trying to exploit. Ultimately, we are looking for mismatches or gaps, and our job is to make that space bigger or hit that space. Everyone has a role to play, either to keep the space opened or to hit that space. So it's really important that for each of these moves, everyone understands the role and what they're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve and the reasons behind it. I've used 10, 12, 13, not because these are moves for 10, 12, 13, but basically it's easier for me to refer to positions and movements. But they can literally be anybody. So without further ado, let's just run through the moves. I'll give you a quick outline as to what we're trying to do, and I'll just keep it quite short. Okay, first one, DSP. We're trying to keep that space between 12, 13 opened. We use that if there's a gap there, obviously, but also if there's a player out of position sitting in that 12 position, could be a prop there, could be a prop at 13, a prop at 12, and we're just trying to manipulate that situation. So it's important that we keep that space opened and that we hit it. Okay, pretty straightforward. PB, space out wide with no cover, or the cover's out of position. In this case, they're 12 who's covering across. We just go straight forward hands here. That 12 is probably going to go really softly and just sort of try and catch a guy on the outside. So what we have to do is give them a reason to stick, and that reason is basically 13 running the hard line with the 12, and then the 12 is just going to run out the back. Next up, slice. So slices again, there's the space between 10 and 12, or a 12's out of position. Again, maybe have a slow to react 12. There we go. Straightforward enough. M1 loop, I think we kind of want this to be that if you're looped, if you're missed, then you have to loop. That just the whole point of having a miss pass is to create a numerical advantage in the outside edge, or if the guy's straight through to score. But most of the times, if there's a miss pass, you have to loop. That's just, we need to create that as a rule as we move forward. Typically, it's when there's even numbers, or the 12 and the 13, or the 12 in particular likes to shoot up, and we can attack that. And last but not least, switch. So again, space between 10, 12, or the 12's out of position. So it's our job to make sure that our 12 keeps that space open and our 10 can run that blocking line. And straight through. Okay, so again, all these moves, and you can just go back and read through them all. All these moves, it's so important that we keep space open, or we create the space, or we're reacting to particular players in the defensive line who like to act a certain way, and you figure out what the best move is to beat that move. I've deliberately moved the guys, our 10, 12, 13s at certain timings. Like the 12 won't move an awful lot unless there's the balls in the air. I want you guys to make sure you're really looking at that, and we'll take it from there. That's it.